So recently I've started praying a rosary just about every day. Sometimes I do something a little different for prayer, like getting into the word and just praying basically a decade of the rosary or so instead. But I've been praying a full rosary a lot most of the time. I'd say more days than not. And one thing that I've really been focused on here recently has been the sorrowful mysteries and particularly thinking about the scourging at the pillar. And that has kind of got me thinking about the role of Pontius Pilate, which Pontius Pilate has always been a biblical figure that has really fascinated me in a lot of ways because for me personally, I sometimes see myself in him and in what he did. Um, it's very clear in the Bible that Pontius Pilate knew that Jesus was innocent, but it's also very clear that he did not have the courage to do what was his obligation in that position that he was in as a leader in the community, as someone in a position of power. Um, Instead of being concerned about things above this world, about justice, about truth, he was concerned about the things of this world, his own power, his own standing, his ability to stay in an advantageous position. Um, and so that's why he not only allowed Barabbas to be released via the tradition, but also handed Jesus over and he washed his hands of it. Right? He said, "You guys can do whatever you want to him, but I have nothing to do with it." And the reality is, we can't wash our hands of the obligation that we have in this world to show God's love, to show God's mercy, to, in his case, show God's justice. And he did not have the courage to do that. Instead, he allowed public pressure to overcome him. And what that kind of has gotten me thinking here recently is how many times have I acted like Pontius Pilate? How many times have I said, I don't have the courage right now to step up for what I know is true, to fight for my faith, to fight for people in my life that I need to support in this moment. And I think that the more I think about Pontius Pilate, unfortunately, the more relatable he sometimes comes. So I just pray that God will continue to give me the strength, hopefully, to overcome some of those times when I don't necessarily have the gumption to speak up for the truth, and give me His grace and His strength through the Holy Spirit that I can overcome those failures and that lack of courage. Also, just want to add a quick note. Really was really touched by so many of the great comments on the last video I did. All you guys who commented and sent kind words, y'all are amazing. God bless every single one of you. Peace.